The wind out here doesn't blow, it carves. It scrapes across a flat white nothing, pushing needles of snow into every crease of your jacket, every gap between your fingers. Your breath freezes before it leaves your lips. And then you drop to your knees, crawl through a low tunnel, and come up into a round, glowing room. The howling stops. The walls breathe a soft blue white. The air sits completely still, and somehow it's warm. Everyone's seen the cartoon Igloo, Christmas cards, kids' books, survival movies, but almost nobody stops to ask the obvious question. How the hell does a house made of ice keep you from freezing to death? Ice is what frostbite looks like. Ice is what kills your pipes in January. If snow is frozen water and frozen water is cold, then what invisible mechanism turns a pile of compacted snow into a heater? Think about that for a second. Let's start with the obvious thing nobody notices. The igloo wasn't invented in a lab. It was invented under life-or-death pressure by Inuit hunters who needed shelter in a place with no trees, no stone, nothing except the ground under their feet. Until Inuit builders figured out something that looked completely insane. Cut blocks from wind-packed snow, stack them in a rising spiral, and seal yourself in a frozen dome that would keep you alive through a -40-degree night. When European explorers first saw it, most assumed it was a storage hut, not a home, not engineering, just a pile of snow. From the outside, it looks like nothing, a white bubble, but the visible mechanics are ruthlessly deliberate. Think of it like a natural pressure arch, every block cut at a slight inward angle, locking the dome together like a stone bridge, curving in every direction at once. No nails, no mortar, just geometry. The entrance tunnel dips below floor level because cold air is heavy. It sinks and drains out like water from a bowl. The sleeping platform sits one step higher, raised above that cold pool. Today, when you watch someone crawl through that low tunnel and climb up, you're watching a centuries-old fluid dynamics solution quietly keeping the coldest air away from sleeping bodies. But here comes the part nobody sees. Snow is frozen foam, up to 95% trapped air locked inside a lattice of tiny ice crystals. That air doesn't conduct heat. It holds it, slows it down, like 10 million microscopic thermos bottles stacked between you and the storm. Your body alone puts out heat roughly like a 100-watt bulb running continuously. That heat warms the inner wall just enough to melt a fraction of a millimeter, which then refreezes. The wall seals itself, cracks fuse. The whole dome slowly transforms from stacked blocks into a single continuous shell of ice, tighter and stronger than when it was first built. The result? Outside, -40 degrees Fahrenheit. Inside, with nothing but body heat, up to 60 degrees Fahrenheit. A 100-degree swing across a wall of snow less than 2 feet thick. The difference between instant frostbite and taking your gloves off to sleep. Built from nothing but snow and geometry. If you're finding this fascinating, hit that like button and subscribe to The Curious Mechanism for more hidden engineering stories. But you're probably thinking, what if it gets too warm and melts? The igloo isn't dumb. As the inner surface approaches freezing, extra heat goes into melting a paper-thin layer instead of warming the wall further. A natural thermostat that resets itself automatically. A small vent at the top bleeds out moisture and CO2. The tunnel drains the heaviest, coldest air. No sensors, no electricity, no moving parts. Just a system refined over thousands of years of cold, painful iteration to balance on exactly the right edge. Now comes the invisible part, the real engineering. The dome shape distributes weight so evenly that a well-built igloo can hold a full-grown adult standing on the roof. Walls 12 to 16 inches thick force heat through a maze of crystals and air before it can escape. That thickness isn't excess, it's redundancy. If a storm scrapes the outer layer down 2 inches, 10 more inches still hold. If a crack forms, the melt-refreeze cycle fills it. The igloo is designed expecting the Arctic to destroy it, and it wins anyway. But here's an uncomfortable truth. For centuries, entire communities depended on this one trick. Without the igloo, winter hunting across sea ice becomes a death sentence. Families can't move between camps. Food, medicine, and knowledge stop moving. The social fabric of the Arctic doesn't just get uncomfortable, it collapses. We forget because we only ever see it as a quirky snow hut on a holiday card. We forget it exists precisely because it worked too well to fail visibly. An igloo isn't just a snow dome, it's invisible architecture that turned the most hostile material on the planet into a life support system. Next time you see that little white shape glowing against an Arctic sky, imagine the still air pooling near the ceiling, the walls slowly sealing themselves, the cold sitting just outside, 2 feet and 1,000 years of engineering away. You're not looking at a pile of snow. You're watching geometry and human stubbornness pretending to be a simple winter shelter. If this changed the way you see a cartoon igloo in a kid's book, subscribe to The Curious Mechanism and hit the like button. Share this with someone who never thought a snow house could be smarter than it looks. This is The Curious Mechanism, exploring the invisible systems that keep the world running.